Before I even start the video, I want you guys to go down in the comment section and let me know what your favorite Dragon Ball fan-made story is. Mainly because if it's an interesting one that I don't know exists yet and it's got a good story, if you leave me a little brief synopsis of the story, I'll go ahead and make a video on it and give you guys a shout out for it. But I also want to know where your minds are at. What are you guys thinking is a good Dragon Ball fan-made story? Is it one that involves Goku and the gang, or is it one more like this fan-made manga that has completely brand new characters and a completely new setting? Because honestly, I gotta be straight with you guys, this is by far one of my favorite Dragon Ball fan-made stories.
Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
So where we left off, Nappa was telling everybody exactly what's going to happen during the Universal Force Academy test. And basically he's saying that 80% of the applicants are not going to make it through this. A lot of people are going to fail. And so the test is going to be pretty difficult. And at this point in time is where we realize there is actually a human character. One of the side characters that I mentioned in my last video, she's a human. So humans are part of this world. And that got me thinking, I mean, how are humans going to compete with like Namekians and Saiyans? And the only way I could think of it is if the humans went in a direction where they kind of did a hybrid human-android type of thing, making themselves more robotic like 18 and 17 and amplifying their power that way. That would make sense because, again, Android 17 and 18 were made on Earth and they're even far more powerful than the Super Saiyan transformation. So that would be a really cool route to go on. And this whole concept, honestly, with the Universal Force, I didn't think about it before, but it reminds me of Time Patrollers too now, because we have all the different races, the same ones, Saiyans, Namekians, all these different races interacting with each other. This was giving really heavy homage to that. Nappa continues by saying that there are going to be 4 tests in the exam, 4 separate tests they have to take, and then they all get teleported to their destinations. And the first person we follow is the main character, Kakora. She ends up on a simulated world where the gravity is far more than what she normally is training under, and you can tell that by the way it's affecting her body. And again, that's another way that I like the fact that they're pushing this gravity being important into the storyline. I really like the fact that they went this route. And with all their masters watching, they have to confront the first test, which is not really a hard one besides the gravity. There's just a ton of Cybermen who come out of nowhere and they have to destroy all the Cybermen. They have to take them all down. And this is all being narrated by the AI called Ava. She's the one that is running the test. So, of course, all our main characters, Kakora, Arctic, Celera, they go to work, take down all these Cybermen with little to no effort, and move on to the next test, where we get, to my surprise, a new version or a new variant of a Cyberman. It's just a giant Cyberman, and I really didn't think they were going to go this route. Honestly, I thought at some point they were going to throw maybe like a Majin Buu type of character out here, but no, we got more Cybermen, and it makes sense because Cybermen for the Saiyans are used for training, and we really didn't get too much into that aspect of it. I'm not sure if maybe even the Broly movie is going to touch on that, but I like that it's being implemented here. And these Cybermen are huge. They're a lot stronger than they look. Even Arctic's having a hard time facing off against this one, but ultimately they can overcome these huge Cybermen and they take them down with relative ease as well. So this test really seems like it's not really as hard as you would imagine from the very beginning, from what Nappa was saying. Next, we go to the third test, and for this one, you have to find a life form on the battlefield, I guess, and rescue it. And so Kakora has been taught by Sailor to feel out different body signs and power levels and with her feelings, and that's what she does, and she finds Hercule's dog. You guys don't remember this dog from the Buu saga? I'm glad this manga exists because this is awesome. The level of callbacks, I guess, to original Dragon Ball, this is definitely Hercules' dog. I mean, it definitely is not Hercules' dog, but this is the same design. I like it. So Kakora ends up picking up the dog, and then we get more Cybermen, but these are a different variant again. These are far more powerful Cybermen than their previous iterations. So these Cybermen actually give our main characters a little bit more trouble, and the way I like that they drawn Kakora is they made her rough looking. Like, they made her in the same vein as Korra from Legend of Korra, Avatar Last Airbender, where she's not exactly extremely feminine. I would say Solera is more femininely drawn, and Kakora, I mean, yeah, she got her moments where she is kind of hot in some of these scenes and stuff like that, you know, it's amplifying her femininity, but at the same time, for the most part, she is a rough and tough girl, and she's just drawn in that vein, I guess. She's just drawn in that way. She's not drawn to exemplify her beauty, even though she is beautiful in her own right. But she ends up taking down all these hybrid, very strong Cybermen, I guess, the ultimate Cyberman warrior, and they end up beating this part of the exam. And then we go to our last exam. And now, throughout this test, we've had Ava, which is the AI. She has been giving us the information on what to do in each exam. Well, the last test, again, the writing in this is fantastic. Ava is the last test. She is an android, I guess, maybe a cyborg. I guess an android, because androids are extremely powerful, but doesn't look like the androids from Dragon Ball Z. She's a sleek silver design and very, very humanoid looking, and she is the final test, and she can amplify her power to accommodate the power of the opponent. So she ends up making really quick work of our main characters, Kakora, Arctic, and Solera. But Solera, being the protege, she ends up kind of pushing her limits on the AI. She ends up becoming more powerful, and she can actually kind of go toe to toe with it for a second. Plus, she's pissing the android off by, using curse words and such. So the android ends up upping her strength to be able to take down Solera. And we don't see that because we cut back to Kakora, and this android, Ava, she is just putting the hands on Kakora, knocking her back, beating her up, blasting her across the arena, all that stuff. And we're getting very Dragon Ball Z-esque scenes, at least from the original Dragon Ball Z, where, you're all bloody, you're all beat up, and something's coming. We all know something's coming. She's a Saiyan, for God's sake. You know that there is more to this scene than just her getting beaten up. And of course there is. Before Ava is able to deliver the finishing blow, Kakora explodes in a fiery rage. And of course at this point I'm like, yeah, I knew she was going to go Super Saiyan. They hinted at earlier that the Queen can go into Super Saiyan form, and that's supposed to be an extremely powerful form. So I figured, with Kakora having this sort of underdog type of thing going on, she was going to be able to go into it too. But no, you guys did it. It was you. Dragon Ball Rebirth, you sly dog, man. That's crazy. You guys decided to use a transformation that we have not seen since Dragon Ball Z, and ultimately many people have forgotten. This is false Super Saiyan. This is the Super Saiyan transformation that Goku goes into, and it's not really a transformation, he just kind of explodes in that energy, and that's what it looks like. And I like that they went in this direction because it threw me off guard. I could have sworn normally, and even in Dragon Ball Super, Kaba would have gone into Super Saiyan already, but no, you guys decided to go the extra mile and give us a specific transformation for her that wasn't exactly Super Saiyan, because you knew we were expecting Super Saiyan. You kind of went and tried to go under and subvert our expectations, and I appreciate the fact that this manga decided to do that, because I definitely like this scene. I love this picture of her turning into the false Super Saiyan, and she kind of has her eyes blanketed out looking like Broly. And of course that was it. That's it for Ava, completely destroyed because of that form. And now it is Solera's turn. As the Queen states, it's Solera's turn to take down this robot. So I'm thinking that we're not gonna get, say, like, this is a false Super Saiyan and then at some point she's gonna go into a regular Super Saiyan. I don't think that's the route they're going with. I think she's gonna have false Super Saiyan be her transformation, her form, and then that's going to be specific to her. So she's going to develop it. That's going to be something that's only going to be unique to her. And then we're going to have probably Solera go into the normal Super Saiyan form. And each one's going to have their own pros and cons type of thing. And then I don't know what Arctic's going to do, because Arctic already went into 100% during the manga. I don't know if he's going to go into like Golden or whatever, which would be completely overpowered. I don't think they're going to do that. But anyway, guys, I really enjoyed Chapter 2. The creator of the manga actually got in touch with me in my last video, and so I'm going to be talking to him through email, and he's going to send me a sneak peek at the cover of Chapter 3, which should be dropping next week sometime, so I will be reviewing that as well. But hey, if you're watching this video, thank you for Dragon Ball Rebirth, because this is by far one of my favorite fan-made Dragon Ball mangas that I've ever read, or storylines that I've ever seen. It's just so well crafted. The story is solid, and the artwork is fantastic. You should be proud of yourself. This is going to be BlackScape, signing off.